Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Remembering Pope Francis, the announcement of the Pope's death from the Vatican this morning as the Catholic Church prepares for the next chapter.
And we're looking out for reactions from more leaders regarding the Pope's passing. We'll bring some of that here in the WRAL Live Center, including from the White House.
And our next two weather makers, the warm temperatures hang around, but the big change comes with a front that will bring stormy conditions. I'll show you how many days we'll see that.
A new road closure starting this morning. What drivers need to know about the month-long detour that's part of the plan to improve I-440. A lot to tell you about on this day after Easter Sunday, including the big breaking news that we learned just 4.5 hours ago. Pope Francis has died. We'll continue to follow reaction from that. Chris Lovingood in the Live Center. J.D. Vance just met with the Pope yesterday, and we'll hear more from the Vatican coming up.
Yeah, 12 years as Pope, and certainly we'll add some context to it. Likely the first thing everybody saw on their phones when they woke up this morning. So bringing some more context on that. First off, Elizabeth Gard, though, over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. Some clouds there in Franklinton.
We saw, some clouds yesterday, and we'll see more of that today as a cold front gets closer to us. It's a pretty start there with the clouds, but we're seeing, some holes in the clouds and in some places. Our temperatures are really warm. 67 is the temperature in the Triangle area right now. We're seeing mostly 60s heading out the door, but mostly low 60s. 60 Southern Pines, 61 Fayetteville and Goldsboro. It's actually 59 in Clinton right now, but still comfortable everywhere. It'll be another warm afternoon with high temperatures climbing into the mid 80s, but mostly cloudy. Today stays dry, but new this morning, we have a level 1 risk for severe storms for tomorrow. We take a look at the timeline for that. It's likely to be afternoon and evening, but this is the start of a wetter pattern. I'll show you how many days we could see this coming up. Michelle?
Thanks, Elizabeth. I am in for Ken Smith this morning. This is a live look I-40 at Wade Avenue. A lot of people on their way to school, on their way to work. It is Monday morning at 6 o'clock, so it is consistently busy. This is a notoriously busy area, I-40 at Wade Avenue, but right now we are not seeing any slowdowns, any delays. Take a look at this map. A lot of green on the map this morning. All of our major routes through Raleigh, Garner, Clayton, and Durham, all looking good so far. We'll take a closer look in Durham here, 885 and it's 15, all looking great. I do have some drive times for you if you are heading out the door. Again, we are not seeing any delays so far in Durham. You can see all zeros across the board. But if you are getting ready to head out the door, listen to us on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Michelle, thank you. We are following breaking news on the death of the Pope. The Vatican says Pope Francis died this morning around 1:30 our time. He did make an appearance for an Easter Sunday blessing at the Vatican at St. Peter's Square. He recently had health issues, including pneumonia and bronchitis. He was 88 years old and served 12 years in that role. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is following this breaking news. She is live at the Holy Name of Jesus Cathedral in Raleigh. Kelsey.
Renee, the Vatican made that announcement about 2 hours ago, and we're outside of the Holy Name of Jesus Cathedral this morning, and we're working to find out if they'll schedule a mass for later today. But Pope Francis briefly met with Vice President J.D. Vance yesterday on Easter. Francis met with him at the Vatican Hotel where he lived. That visit came after the Pope's weeks-long battle with an infection that led to double pneumonia. Pope Francis only visited the U.S. one time back in 2015. He traveled to several cities like New York and Philadelphia. Our WRAL cameras were there when he visited Washington, D.C. We're keeping up with local reaction to the Pope's death this morning. We're still waiting to hear from the Catholic Diocese of Raleigh. Now, we just mentioned that there's no mass scheduled here at Holy Name of Jesus today, but there will be a mass at Sacred Heart Church at 12:10 this afternoon. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
While we wait for the Diocese of Raleigh to react to this news, I want to show you a live look here at St. Peter's Square, where there are so many people that have flocked here after the passing of Pope Francis. This is just a different angle where you see these people standing by. I do want to show you a little bit more in terms of reaction that we're hearing, because we saw that the White House shared something on their X social media platform saying, "Rest in peace, Pope Francis." And there's a photo of our president on the left and Vice President J.D. Vance on the right. Actually, Vice President Vance met with the Pope just yesterday, and this is the message he shared on X this morning, saying, "I just learned of the passing of Pope Francis. My heart goes out to the millions of Christians all over the world who loved him." He had a brief moment with the Pope yesterday, essentially exchanging greetings, and he said that he prayed for the Pope every day. I'll leave you just again with this live look at St. Peter's Square. So many people are gathering right now to pay their condolences after the passing of Pope Francis.
Thanks for that, Chris. Other news we're following this morning. After 1 o'clock this morning, investigators cleared the scene of a crash in Durham County where several people were killed. Wild details in this crash that happened after a shootout between two cars. Deputies are still looking for one of those cars this morning. Deputies say shots were fired near Ball Road. A deputy later spotted the cars on Roxborough Street, but then they took off. One of the vehicles crashed near Latta Road, killing several people. We're working to learn more about the victims and what else led up to that crash.
Heads up if you drive through Raleigh. A new road closure could impact your commute for the next month. It is all part of the I-440 improvement project and starts today. WRAL's Laura Levine is live with where it's happening and the detours that drivers will want to know about. Laura.
Renee, good morning. Drivers in Raleigh have called a lot of the construction along I-440 a logistical nightmare, and today they're going to have to deal with some new roadblocks because Barrow Road is closing beginning at 8 a.m. So we know the NCDOT says that Barrow Road at I-440 will be closed for about a month so crews can safely do some bridge work as part of the I-440 improvement project. Here's what you should know if you're heading this way. Drivers traveling east to Barrow on Blue Ridge will be detoured to Hutton Street, to Ligon Street, to Blue Ridge, to Western, to Method Road, and then back to Barrow. And those driving westbound on Barrow Road will detour to Method Road and Western Boulevard and then choose to use Blue Ridge or Powell Drive. So the overall I-440 improvement project is a $475 million project that's been in the works since 2017. The major thoroughfare was built in the 60s, and the DOT said major repairs were needed, from widening lanes because of congestion, replacing pavement and bridges, and upgrading interchanges. So the work here at Barrow Road that we're standing at right now, this area will be closed beginning at 8 a.m. and it will last until May 19th. So we are talking about a month. The overall I-440 improvement project isn't expected to be complete until the end of this year. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Today, educators in Durham are having a second public meeting with district leaders there. The Durham Association of Educators is advocating for teachers and staff amid a $7 million budget shortfall for the school system. They'll discuss the association's 9 urgent priorities they've identified, including budget transparency, pay, transportation, protecting immigrant families from ICE, and protecting the jobs of frontline staff.
That's a major concern right now when we don't know how many educators and workers across the district are budgeted for. And we're also really highlighting the classified pay concerns, which started last year. There's still some uncertainty this year.
That public meeting starts at 6 o'clock tonight.
A man was rushed to the hospital after a crash in Durham. It happened on Old Oxford Road near Snow Hill Road last night. Troopers say a car ran off the road into the wood line. The driver was the only one in the car. We're working to learn his condition and what caused the crash. In Moore County, a man was airlifted to the hospital after a crash on U.S. Highway 1. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows the scene near Pine Bluff. Firefighters used special tools to free the man from the car. We're working to learn his condition and what caused the crash.
A van slammed into a Raleigh market, forcing the family-owned business to close. This is the NC African Market off New Hope Church Road. That building was deemed unsafe, but the owners say they plan to find a way to reopen. Police are investigating what caused the crash and whether charges will be filed. It was an electrifying start to the playoffs for the Carolina Hurricanes, a 4-1 win over the New Jersey Devils. Round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs opened with a packed house, plenty of energy, and this pregame light show setting the tone at the Lenovo Center. Fans believe this team has what it takes this year and trust in coach Rod Brindamore to lead the way.
There's a lot of new faces with this team, but honestly, I think our core group of guys are the ones that are going to be able to get it done. And, I think Rod Brindamore being the, captain of the ship, he's going to lead us to victory.
And the team now looks to keep that momentum going for Game 2 against the New Jersey Devils. That's tomorrow night at the Lenovo Center.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is in hot water once again for sharing detailed plans about military operations. Sources say he used his personal phone to send information about U.S. military operations in Yemen. The messages were sent to a 13-person Signal group chat, including his wife and his brother. This comes about a month after it became public that Hegseth shared details of strikes in Yemen in a separate Signal chat. That chat included a journalist.
New this morning, Vice President J.D. Vance arrived in India earlier today for a 4-day visit. Vance will meet with Prime Minister Narendra Modi to talk about the economy and trade. A trade deal between India and the U.S. could strengthen economic and diplomatic ties. Vance's visit comes weeks after Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard was in the country for a geopolitical conference. Modi also met with President Trump in Washington in February. Parts of Missouri face widespread damage after storms moved through that state. The winds were clocked as high as 92 miles per hour. Particularly, it impacted the city of Carl Junction. Damaged homes, downed power lines, and trees and debris visible throughout that area. Schools are closed today due to that damage.
The village of Chimney Rock is slowly recovering after months of cleanup from Helene's damage. Crews have cleared much of the debris and rebuilt roads. Temporary bridges are in place. Workers are also replacing the water and sewer system. The village remains closed to the public. Businesses once buried in mud now have new walls and floors.
2 weeks ago, we poured our first in-place canned concrete wall. So this is the beginning of replenishing an 1817 bed and breakfast.
The old Chimney Rock is gone, but the new Chimney Rock that we're going to rebuild, it's going to be an amazing place.
The village hopes to at least partially reopen to visitors this summer.
6:11 right now on your Monday. Some really heartwarming news for a local girl in need of a liver transplant. The next steps for that family.
Up to 9 possible tornadoes. The cleanup beginning after deadly weather hit North Texas over the weekend.
And the muggy meter's starting to climb. You may have felt it over the weekend. It is on the rise along with our chances for rain. I'll show you the big pattern change that starts tomorrow.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, and it's a cloudy start out there this morning, but it is mild. Sending the kids out to the bus stop this morning. Temperatures are mostly in the low to mid 60s. The clouds that we see this morning are not really going to have much of an impact on our day. We're not going to see any rain for it today. Temperatures will be on the mild side again, looking at as much as 85 degrees in the Triangle. So a hot one. 86 in Southern Pines, and temperature up in South Hill around 83 degrees. So feeling like it did yesterday. Tomorrow we change our weather pattern completely. We're going to see a front that comes in and stalls, and that stalled front will bring us the best chance of rain that we've seen in a while. We'll see a trend of afternoon and evening thunderstorms really for much of the week. So how much rain does that mean total? We'll take a look at that in just a few minutes. Michelle?
Thanks, Elizabeth. 6:15 on your Monday morning, and we're not seeing many delays in Raleigh and Garner, but I do want to take you up to this crash. This crash just popped up. They're saying this is a vehicle fire. This is I-40 eastbound near NC Highway 86. You can see the yellowing on the map there and then the red indicating that there are delays from this. So I'm going to look further into this and see what is going on here, how many people were involved. But again, for I-40 eastbound near Highway 86 up near Hillsborough. Across the Triangle, looking at drive times this morning. The only delay we're seeing right now is on US 1 South coming in from Wake Forest.
Michelle, thanks. Classes at Florida State University are set to resume today. This comes just 3 days after a shooting on campus that killed 2 and injured 6 others. The university says it is offering remote options and waiving mandatory attendance to allow students more time to process the tragedy. The decision comes after more than 1,000 people signed a petition demanding the university allow students to work remotely. A Chapel Hill family got incredible news over the weekend. 5-year-old Hollis Lynn, who we told you about on Friday, finally has a liver donor match. Her condition is so rare, it doesn't even have an official medical name. Hollis's mom, Lindsay Lynn, says the family is overjoyed, and now they're preparing for what comes next.
It's generally like a 8 to 10 hour surgery. So not sure how I'm gonna not go crazy during that time, but I'll do my best. We've been talking about a new liver since she could understand kind of what we were talking about. So she is excited for her new liver and somewhat understands that there will be some pain involved. There's no words to how grateful we are for the donor.
Hollis has a potential surgery scheduled for next Monday. We hope it goes well.
We sure do. More measles cases are popping up across the U.S. Louisiana, Missouri, Virginia all reported their first cases of 2025, all tied to international travel. In Virginia, a child under the age of 5 tested positive after traveling abroad. Louisiana's case involves an unvaccinated adult now in isolation. And Missouri reports a child case with limited exposure. Health officials warn the virus spreads easily and say vaccination is the best protection.
Starting today, DHL Shipping is temporarily suspending shipments to the U.S. worth more than $800. The company says that move is due to a significant increase in red tape at customs following President Trump's tariffs. Previously, packages worth up to $2,500 could enter the U.S. with minimal paperwork. And now the threshold has been lowered because of more stringent customs checks.
There are new claims of collusion against major insurance companies in California. 2 lawsuits stem from the devastating Los Angeles wildfires. Plaintiffs say they were victims of an illegal scheme to deny coverage to high-risk homeowners. They claim insurers conspired to limit competition and push them into the state's last resort option known as the California Fair Plan. 9 tornadoes tore through North Texas Saturday. An aerial view here, this survey of that region shows damaged homes and downed trees. There are no reports of injuries, though. The same storm system is believed to have produced a total of 16 tornadoes between Texas and Oklahoma. Today, the National Weather Service plans to send out crews to determine the path and severity of those tornadoes.
We are grateful for our quiet weather over the weekend. Just a beautiful, glorious weather for our holiday weekend. And the warmth continues. Elizabeth, it's starting off rather warm out there.
It is. It's warm. And you might have noticed the humidity out there. My hair notices it more than anything. So we're going to be dealing with that this week. Also some cloud cover. We saw a bit of cloud cover yesterday, but it was still a comfortable and just beautiful Easter Sunday. Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill, all looking quiet, but definitely a good bit more cloud cover. The clouds will be with us on and off for the remainder of the week because our pattern really starts to change subtly today and then more of an impact tomorrow. We're on the south side of this warm front, so that means we're in the warm sector of this, so we'll continue to stay warm for the remainder of the week. We are watching this cold front that's back to our west. There were some severe storms along that front overnight last night. We're looking at a small chance for severe storms. That front will move in and stall. It's not going to deliver a nice cool air mass behind it. When it stalls here, it will be a focusing mechanism for some showers and storms, mostly afternoon and evening. Some of those will be slow moving, so some storms could potentially produce some flooding. Here's a look at Futurecast. By lunchtime tomorrow, there may be a few isolated showers that pop up, but it's mainly going to be after lunchtime. Notice at 3 o'clock, the coverage is a little bit more widespread, but still on the scattered side. We'll see some rain potentially during the evening commute tomorrow. And then we're going to put that on repeat all the way through Friday or Saturday because that front's just going to sit here. So we'll take it on through. This is Wednesday, and you can see just in the afternoon those showers and thunderstorms popping up, and that continues all the way through Saturday. So rain chances look like this: 40% chance for today, 50 Wednesday, 40 Thursday, Friday, 60 Saturday. That's when that front finally picks up and moves out, and then Sunday will feel different. We check out how much rain we could see: easily an inch to maybe an inch and a half of rain with the system, and we could always use it. Earth Day is tomorrow. Our high temperatures, of course, continue to be nice and mild or nice and warm until we get to Sunday. So big differences in what we see Saturday and Sunday. We're going to talk more about that front that'll cool us off coming up. Michelle?
Thanks, Elizabeth. Things starting to pick up a little bit as we head into our morning traffic-wise. This is a live look at the traffic map. You can see 2 crash icons. This first one here, they're calling this a vehicle fire, I-40 eastbound near Old NC Highway 86. You can see a lot of red and yellow on the map there indicating those delays. We do have cameras in that area. Unfortunately, they are giving me some issues, but I do have a picture of what we are talking about. This is I-40 at Old NC 86. You can see a lot of traffic on the road. This is something I will keep my eye on and have more for you coming up in the next couple of minutes. Another crash. This one just popped up. I-440 westbound. They're calling this a crash investigation. This is just past New Bern Avenue, so I'll keep my eye on that as well and bring you any updates and what comes from that crash. I do have some drive times for you. Really not seeing any delays overall. Only a 1-minute delay coming in on US 1 south from Wake Forest. As always, you're heading out the door. Listen to us on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Michelle, thanks. Box office upset. A horror flick scares off a Warner Brothers blockbuster.
And a storm drain rescue, a dog reuniting with its family after a 15-foot fall. The moment Raleigh firefighters were able to save him.
Ahead this morning on Today, a look at the rare red wolf and a growing effort to boost its population to help save the wolf from extinction. NBC's Emily Aketa spends time with the teams in North Carolina, where the only red wolves in the world are living. Make sure to tune in today this morning at 8:30 right here on WRAL.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
From a championship win to a celebrity takedown, wrestling fans got a big surprise.
Time now for a look at what is trending on our Monday morning. WrestleMania 41 wrapped up with a major moment. John Cena winning the WWE Undisputed Championship in what may be his final match. Cena beat Cody Rhodes to take the title, and he has said previously he's going to retire. Rapper Travis Scott, by the way, made a surprise appearance during the match, only to get hit with Rhodes' finishing move.
But got to see some of Cena's signature moves, the attitude adjustment and the 5-knuckle shuffle. I don't know what those are, but
well,
apparently he's known for that. I love the names, though.
Painful with the turnbuckle there.
Congratulations are in order for actress Kristen Stewart. She tied the knot with Dylan Meyer in Los Angeles yesterday. This is according to People magazine. The couple exchanged their vows at home in front of a small group of family and friends. Stewart and Meyer dated for 6 years before getting engaged in 2021, and then another 4-year engagement.
Led right up to last Tuesday. They picked up the marriage license at the courthouse, and then at Kristen Stewart's house over the weekend. I'm sure it was a nice ceremony.
Ryan Coogler's Sinners is a box office success, finishing #1. Michael B. Jordan plays twins in the action horror thriller, which debuted with $45.6 million. After 2 weekends on top, a Minecraft movie fell to second place, and The King of Kings also dropped a spot, coming in third. The life and death of Pope Francis, what we're learning from the Vatican this morning, and the tributes pouring in from around the world.
And we have a new road closure alert. What drivers need to know about a month-long detour starting today near I-440.
And I'm loving this new camera here at Carr Lake in Clarksville. Such a beautiful sunrise to see always. A bit more cloud cover this morning. I'll show you why we're moving into a cloudier and wetter pattern.